That's a collector. We're going to do a little bit of a garden video kindly today, such as it is. Looks like we got a worm somewhere on our tomatoes eating the leaves. Them potatoes, I didn't prune them like I ought to, but they're making tomatoes.
Tomatoes, not
yeah,
potatoes.
Tomatoes. They're making, there's some orange ones. They're starting to get ripe. It's a pretty good crop.
For getting them in so dadgum late.
But we'll have to look for that worm and see if we can find him.
Yep.
Debbie's better at seeing him than I am, but we'll find him.
Yep.
It would be one tomato hornworm. There's a little squash plant.
I'll just bring some tannerite out here and just blow the whole plant up.
If you look there, I'm going to let that one big squash go to seed.
Oh, yes.
And we've done harvested squash off this, and I've got more coming on, younger ones over there.
Yes.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to spray them with soapy water to get the bugs off of them.
Okay. That's a good
And this right here,
thing.
This right here is catnip.
Yes.
And I've been seeing some honeybees on this, on this catnip.
Yay.
And that is Dallas grass. I'm fixing to till that up. You can hardly pull it up.
I thought we were going to try and eat it this year.
No, I ain't Dallas grass. We got more tomatoes.
Yeah.
I don't know how many plants is in there, but they're making tomatoes. You look down there, there's a lot of big tomatoes.
Yeah, but I don't like how you do them. You got to...
See them down there?
Yeah, you got to get in there and crawl amongst them.
Yeah, well.
I see another kind of orange one down there.
I've done dug already today.
Yes.
A few potatoes.
Yes.
And I used to never could grow Irish potatoes. And I started doing what they call the Ruth Stout method. And now I'm able to grow
I see a potato right over there you missed.
Where?
To your left.
Oh, laying on top?
Yep. There's another one right over there. There's another one right over there.
Anyway, what I do is I till this up.
And
I lay potatoes on the ground, my seed. And then I throw hay on top of it. It's hay that we grew that we know hasn't been sprayed with any poisons or anything. It's some we grow and bale some every fall. And I got 2 baskets here. And there's all the little ones that I've got dug so far. And what I do with them little ones, I feed them to my rabbits. Rabbits like them. And there's a wild rabbit that's been getting in here. And I put this plaster lath up here this high. And he still manages to get in here.
He just climbs up it.
And maybe he got in here and he can't get out. I don't know.
Mr. McGregor, he probably lives in here.
Okay, Mr. McGregor, huh?
Yeah, he probably lives in the old root cellar, Mr. McGregor.
Got my hay. And this potato patch don't look like much. I'll agree.
I never said a diddly doggone word.
I'll pull them weeds while I'm here. There's what you got, folks.
Yep, I see what you got.
You ain't got to dig them. You just move the hay.
Yes,
and roll the potatoes out.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
And this is real good soil.
Yes, it is real good.
But it's not sandy.
I know.
So they ain't gonna grow down in it very deep.
I told you to get some sand and add to it.
That was a good size one.
Yep, it is.
But they call this the Ruth Stout method of growing potatoes. Is what they call this.
Okie dokie pokey.
And it seems there was this lady in England.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was waiting on a man to come by with his team to plow her garden. And he didn't show up.
So
And she just laid her stuff on the ground and covered it with rotten hay and made a better garden than she ever made. And from then on, she never had her garden plowed.
Wow.
The only thing with this method is the rhizome grasses, like Johnson grass and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's the original seed.
Wow. That's...
See, it's soft.
Well, plant it again.
That's the original. If you want to grow big potatoes, you plant big seed potatoes.
Okay, put it back in the ground, mister. We still got plenty
You're
of...
supposed to save your biggest potatoes for seeds.
We got plenty of time left till fall gets here. Okay, well, I think they got the gist of the... Yeah? Let me what?
You dig just a few more and I'll have a basket full.
You'll have a basket full.
Then I'm going to stop and tell a story.
Oh, boy, I'll tell a story. Once upon a time, there was a guy digging taters, and then his wife walked off and left him, and he was still digging taters. The end. How do you like that story?
It ain't that hot out here right this minute. It's cooler than it was earlier today when I dug that first little jag of them.
Yes, I know. I couldn't believe you were outside digging taters. Is that a walnut?
That's a rock.
Oh,
That's a rock. But see, they grow right on top of the ground.
Yes, I see it. They grow right in.
But you got to put that hay on top of them to keep the sun off of them.
Yeah.
Potatoes that sun gets to make you sick. They're poison.
Really?
Yep, the sunlight does something to them.
Well, shoot the dog. I didn't know that.
Rightly remember how thick I planted these.
Are you sure we shouldn't put shade over them so the sun don't get to them?
No, the plant's fine, but you can't, the little rooted potatoes.
You sure you're not feeding me
Anyway,
a line of bologna?
y'all get the gist of it. The potato
Goes all the way over
it goes
there.
all the way down to that fence down there.
Mm-hmm.
And I can grow enough potatoes that they'll last all winter for me and Debbie.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got this little wagon to haul stuff in.
Yeah, Addie lets Papa
The
use
guy
it.
gave Debbie some bicycles and a bunch of stuff, and this little wagon is all broke up. I put some better tires on it.
Mm-hmm, he did.
Worked it over and fixed it up, and now our granddaughter Addie claims it's hers, but she'll let Pawpaw borrow it if I ask her.
Yes, he's got to ask.
Anyway,
I think it's funny.
I started out the other day telling some stories about my daddy.
Uh-huh.
Well, he was in England, World War II,
Yes.
and he was airman,
Yes.
and he was a radio guy.
Uh-huh.
He changed the crystals in the radios and kept the communications radios. And he was a carpenter. And everybody was living in tents. And he didn't like living in a tent, so he got all the wooden bomb crates and took them apart, and he was a carpenter by trade. And he built him a little house out on the flat line. And there's an AP wire photo that my oldest son's got of his little house out there on the flat line. And he was real good buddies with a cook. And he was also good buddies with a guy who had the same first name as him. This guy's name was Norman too. My daddy's name was Norman. And they was buddies with this cook. And what my dad would do, that other guy was a pilot. And my dad would, same size as him, would put on one of his pilot's uniforms. And that cook could get meat. And they would take that meat and they would go to town and they could trade that meat for whatever they wanted. So they went to town, rode their bicycles, 3 bicycles, my dad and this other guy, and them pilots was like gods. Everybody treated them like royalty over in England. And my dad pretending he was a pilot. And they traded that meat for a bunch of drinks and whatever at the pub. And they got ready to go back to base, and that cook had drank so much they didn't go very far, he passed out. But they had a case of beer they'd taken with them. So my dad and this other guy, the pilot, they get some fence wire and they wire all 3 bicycles together with a pole, this and that. And they lay that cook across these 3 bicycles, passed out cook. And they get to wheeling him along, you know, and it collapses and he falls, and they keep drinking that case of beer. And by the time they get back to base, all the beer's gone and they're drunk. This cook, they have dropped him numerous times. And the next morning, that cook, when he woke up, he had 2 broke arms. All his arms was broken.
Oh, jeepers.
And what my dad had done, he had got in there into the commander's office. He was sent to go there. I got sheep coming in here.
Yes.
Get out! Out! He had snuck into the commander's office, or he'd been sent there.
Yes.
And the commander, nobody was there. So he was snooping around. He found a whole bunch of these passes. And one of them guys, one of them 3 could forge that commander's signature, and they'd write themselves with passes.
Of course they could. Of course
they had an unlimited supply of passes.
Oh, jeepers.
You know, but that's just one of the things he did. There's a lot of pictures of my dad and his brothers and different uncles and stuff taken right before they left for World War II, because they thought they wasn't ever coming back. You know, they remembered World War I. Most of the guys that went off World War I, the big majority of them never come back home, you know.
Yeah.
So they thought they wasn't coming back anyway. So, and, you know, they didn't. They just did whatever they felt like, pretty much, you know, whatever they thought they could get away with, because they thought, well, I ain't gonna be here very long. And my dad said the Germans would come over in their Messerschmitts, and they'd strafe the airfields all the time. And he said they had these little motors run, these putt-putts, he called them, that run the generators, so when the guys was inside the planes loading bombs and all this stuff, they'd have lights. And he said that putt-putt running out there, and these guys were loading bombs in one of them big bombers. And he said this German come over in the Messerschmitt. He said he started strafing the airfield. And my dad said, boy, I really had to run and dodge. He was trying to shoot me. And he said he shot that putt-putt, shot that engine, killed it. And he said, and then he went on. And he said, them guys in there loading them bombs come running. Who shut our generator off? Blah, blah, blah. My dad said, well, there he goes right there. He said, if I'd have had a rock, I could have brought him down. He said he was so low to the ground. He said he was trying to get me. But anyway, my dad told me all his war stories when he got older. And I was pretty old. He didn't tell them when I was a little kid. But when he got old, he told them all. I'd heard them all a dozen times. He never changed a word from the first time he told them till the last time he told them. But anyway, that's the easy way to grow potatoes for me. It works for me. And I didn't buy no seed potatoes this year. Them are all potatoes that I grew from seed that we saved, and they're mostly Pontiac Reds, I think you call them.
Pontiac Reds.
But if you're gonna put hay, you gotta get hay that hadn't been sprayed with herbicides and stuff, you know. And if y'all look, that's some real good dirt. It's had a lot of goat and sheep and cow manure and donkey manure and horse manure and stuff. But it's out animals that ain't been fed chemical hay. You know, it's out of our own livestock. Rabbits and chickens and whatever, and I till that in.
rabbits and chickens and geese.
And what I'm going to do with this right now, I'm going to plant it back down to, I got a whole bunch of extra squash seed and stuff. I'm going to plant it back down to squashes and stuff like that because I can always cut them open, feed them to the chickens, or put them in a bucket and soak them overnight and feed them to the pigs. You know, you can never grow too much feed for the animals you got. And them sunflowers just volunteer. I didn't plant sunflowers this year. Them just volunteer. They was some planted in there last year.
Yep.
They wasn't even planted there. They was planted right here where we're standing.
I know. Rock chair.
I had planted right through here peas and beans and stuff.
I don't remember eating all them beans and peas.
That rabbit ate them all. As quick as they come up.
Well, listen here, Mr. McGregor, you're going to have to do something with that rabbit. When I'd see him, he'd run off into them potatoes. They was growed up nice and green. I couldn't see him. He'd run off in there. Okay, well, you're going to have to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, trap him.
Well, I was going to set a box trap in here with some pellets. Put him in a book. And see if alfalfa pellets, and see if I couldn't catch him. And if I can catch him, I'll carry him over to the other place over across the river. Yeah, we ain't got nothing over there. There's no, but anyway. There ain't nothing. We growed a big, good crop of them yellow bitterweeds this year. I know, I was going to comment on, why don't you make some bitterweed tea? Well, if you had a cow that would eat it, you could have bitter milk. We have before. Well, anyway, y'all, I think it's just a short video. This is the end, and there ain't no more. We'll say goodbye and good luck to you. It's hot weather. We're not doing a whole lot, but it's starting to cool off. I'm going to get back over on that Dodge, but I got to dig my potatoes first. That's the way it is when you got a little hobby farm. That's what this is called? Yeah. There's always something that'll take precedence. I've been fixing places for mother hens. What about me? Yeah. I've been fixing places for mother hens. Do I take precedence? Yeah, you do too. I've been fixing places for mother hens to sit on eggs, because if you let them sit on a nest of eggs and you don't put them in a coop, the other little hens will get in there with them while they're trying to lay eggs. I don't sit on eggs. You know, once a hen's got 6 or 7 eggs under, little banny eggs, you don't want no more fresh eggs being laid under there. You want to eat them yourself. That's right. But I've been doing that. And he's been doing a whole lot of stuff, but nothing, no honey-do listing. I sold a bicycle today. But you didn't sell it for me. Well, where's my part of the money? It's in the drawer and they're in the bedroom. I guess you just have to rob me. I'll just take your whole walleye and leave you. Well, I got about $4,000 in my wallet. Don't take my wallet. I'm taking your wallet. Now that you said that. I think I got $3,700 in there. Goober head. Last time I counted. I'm going to have to start numbering them $100 bills, because she gets in there and sneaks them, says, Randall won't notice one gone. Listen here. Those days are gone, because now I got my own check coming in. But if I ask you for some money, I'll ask you for some money. I don't have to sneak it no more. But now you have told me plenty of times that you're the only one that made the money, that I never worked. Yeah, back when she didn't work, I would tell her that. I was kind of mean. Yep, he was very mean. She raised the kids and took care of the critters and all that stuff when I was going on the truck, but she never worked. She never had a paycheck coming in from a job away from the place. I'll put it that way. In 2000, I went and got a job at Walmart. Yep, the kids was all in school, and one day she just up and went to Walmart and told them, hey, I need a job, and they hired her. But anyway, that's all for this video, because there ain't gonna be no more Randall. I'm gonna, there might be a good spot right over there to put him. I had to take the side shield off my snapper because the belt wasn't slipping. I had to readjust it. Oh, dear. Like as usual, I never put it back on. Oh, dear. Well, anyway, y'all have a great day. But you can fry these green tomatoes, and they taste like fried squash. I'd rather eat fried squash. Yep. Unless I'm down in Louisiana, and they have some really good fried green tomatoes down there. Nummy, nummy, nummy. In the sauce, and I know, but so far I didn't see anybody missing in that restaurant. It's making, even though I didn't prune them, it's making tomatoes.
Yep. Okay, y'all, you have a great day, and be
one thing
sure
you can do with your tomatoes,
to like and subscribe and comment below.
you can put your old eggshells in there, and that gives your tomatoes lime.
You ain't never gonna get done.
I know
is
it,
ya?
but that gives your tomatoes lime and stops that blossom end rot. If you got that blossom end rot,
Really?
those eggshells will kind of stop that.
Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to help people.
Okay.
People never
that's
told me nothing.
I know
I'd learned on my own.
because you know everything. You
Well.
can't tell somebody who knows anything.
Well, that's what it was. I was too smart to learn anything from anybody else, so they wouldn't tell me nothing.
That's right. I don't tell you nothing either, because you're.
I'm a know.
Y'all have a great day, and be sure and like and subscribe and comment below, and share with all your friends and your neighbors and the people you like and don't like and all that good stuff. And you just have a great weekend. Bye.